Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is doing well. This is the second Tuesday of the year. Already two Tuesdays down. But hey y'all, welcome to Craftable Things. I'm Patrice. If this is your first time here, get comfortable. Everybody in the chat is amazing. If you feel comfortable dropping down saying hey to us, please do. If not, that's okay. Enjoy the bushes. Hey to everybody in the bushes. I'm going to get ready to say hey to some of y'all. I'm not trying to be on here for too long tonight. As I agreed to a few months ago, this is our monthly design live. Okay, so tonight we're going to be focusing on a quick and easy rhinestone template that anybody can do as long as you have software that can make your designs into rhinestones. But this is something that is super duper easy. This is something that's very popular, and it's definitely something that you can make in a matter of minutes and sell. So most of y'all know I love like intricate rhinestone designs like this one that I'm wearing from Making with Marilyn. It says uplift her. I made this the other day on, when did I make this, y'all? I think I made this on Sunday on Patrice L. And I used rhinestones from the baby's booty, and these are the aquamarine chrome and fuchsia chrome with a little bit of icy crystal AB for the outline. I love how that looks. But some of y'all may not be in for making these types of designs that they take a lot of time, no matter what software you're using. Everybody's going to swear by certain softwares that they're just the best and everything. I prefer Silhouette Studio, one, because it's probably one of the cheapest around outside of Shortcuts a Lot and the StarCraft Create software. Is probably the cheapest one around, but you can do so many things with it. Create SVGs, you can create bling templates if you have the business edition. So I absolutely love Silhouette Studio for that. Now I have to tell y'all, I usually design in Silhouette Studio or I convert my SVGs in Silhouette Studio, and then I export them out into the wonderful Adobe Illustrator. But you can maneuver those stones around inside of Silhouette Studio, change them up and everything, and you don't need an expensive program like Adobe Illustrator to do it. Now I love Adobe Illustrator, but y'all know I'm gonna always keep it 100 and let y'all know when I think something is pretty costly, and you can avoid that cost. You don't have to do it, but Adobe Illustrator is more robust and it's just quick. It's a beautiful software. I love it. But you can do everything in Silhouette Studio. That's what we're going to be doing. Using the business edition, getting something quick and easy done, and definitely something that you can sell. So I want to know if anybody inside of the chat has considered maybe getting into digital sales or anything like that. Because if you are, like, these are the types of designs that you can put out there. This is going to be beginner friendly, not just as far as designing is concerned, but something that if you put it out there, it's something that somebody who's just getting started with blinging and brushing and stones and that sort of thing, something that they can easily do. And it's definitely sellable. Like, once that end product is definitely sellable. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Y'all, I'm gonna try to get some. I'm gonna try to cut this out. We're gonna try to see if we can get this done quickly, cut it out, and maybe brush it in, and I'll give it away. Um, that's the plan, y'all. That's the plan. All right, so I might. So in the Patrice L live on Sunday, we talked about some transfers. Now, if y'all don't know, I have a lot of DTF printers and I usually need to keep them up and running. And I think that I need to start at least diving a little bit into maybe doing some like transfer bundles or what did I call it, y'all? DTF mystery box or something like that. So I put up this picture the other day on Instagram and Facebook, and I got so many people. And when I tell y'all so many people who were like, can I get those transfers? Can I get those transfers? Well, these are the two that I've showed everybody on, like that I put a picture up of these. So I will, oh, hey, Tamika. It was meant for me to see you, girl. It was meant for me to see you. So these are the two transfers that I showed in the picture. It was just a regular post. super beautiful transfers, right? I got these designs. If you guys want to know where I got them from, I got these off of Creative Fabrica, and people were asking me about selling transfers. Okay, these are some, a few transfers that I printed out. So I think I am going to do that. I just have to do a few things on my website, get the shipping together, because when you're sending out transfers, you have to have like, you don't want any moisture to get on those transfers and just a lot of different things. And so I want to make sure I have that covered before I do that. So maybe by the end of the week, I should be and you have to have like good hard packaging. So like the photo mailers, and if like, I don't know if I really want to dive into just doing a box right now for DTF, or we just do like a DTF bundle of like some of my favorite prints, right? Or some popular prints. So I will be giving these away tonight. One person's going to get all four of these Valentine's Day images. But look out, if you are interested in any of those prints, I am going to put them on at least by Friday, because I know Valentine's Day is coming up and I'll probably have some for Black History Month. I'm going to have these on I'll probably put a link on my Facebook page. Okay, so I have a Facebook group and I also have a Facebook page. It probably will go on the Facebook group, but it definitely will be on the Facebook page, because I've had so many people requesting, like messaging me about doing the transfers. And I do have tons of printers that I can do it. So if one printer goes down, I can print out. Now, for my members, we're going to probably do like a live. I'll do a live, and we're going to go over all of the license, commercial license, subscription license, and all that stuff of Creative Fabrica, so that you can know like things that you can sell. So before I agreed to sell any of these transfers, like before, like people were asking, I was like, but it's good because that keeps my printers going. And I contacted Creative Fabrica just to make sure that that was okay. There's different things that you can and cannot do with those. You cannot take an SVG off of Creative Fabrica. You cannot turn that into like rhinestones and not make any changes to it. You can't do like, you can't take fonts off of Creative Fabrica and turn that into digitized fonts for embroidery. You can't do things like that, right? But you can print transfers apparently, because that is an end product. Okay, it's not like you're selling the digital file, but you can do that. For anybody else who may be out there in the market to see, like testing those things out, if you have, if you whatever, if that's what you're into, that's what you can do. But for my members, we'll probably do a deep dive on the do's and the don'ts of Creative Fabrica, because I don't want anybody getting in any type of trouble. And being a designer, and if that's the road that you're going into designing, it doesn't feel good when it's happening to you. It doesn't feel good when you're seeing your things elsewhere. I do see a lot of times where people, may do something similar to what I do. That's fine. But when you take exactly what somebody's doing, and you got to be careful there. It doesn't feel good. Y'all know I've said that a few times. We're not going to harp on that. We're going to give these away a little bit later. I'm going to say hey to a few of y'all, and then we are going to get into Silhouette Studio. I'm not going to be using my Mac tonight. We'll be using our PC. Also, I do have some classes coming up. I have a basic silhouette class that is not has nothing to do with rhinestones. It's a deep dive. And I say it's basic, and I shouldn't really say basic. I should call it a deep dive into Silhouette Studio, because it's really a deep dive into Silhouette Studio, the business edition. That's going to be upcoming this weekend. And then the following weekend, we're going to be doing that one's just a day. We're going to be doing a beginner bling class, and then we'll be doing an advanced bling class. Now, if you decide that you want to skip the beginner bling class and get into the advanced bling class, you can. But I just want you guys to know, I cannot troubleshoot your software issues in the class, because it's not fair to everybody in the class. So if you need to know your software beforehand, you need to know the software beforehand. Like, I can't help you, because it's just not. And if you are going to be distracted, I do have disclaimers inside of the post. If you're going to be distracted, or if you have other things that are going on, I cannot go over that same concept again. There's a replay. There's going to be a replay. So if you miss something, it's fine. If, once we've gotten out of something and we're done with something, I'm not going to go back to it, because you will be able to use the replay. So before you sign up for the class, just know that, because I am not going to do it, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not. It's not really fair to everybody who is there and being attentive for me to have to go back. So just want to put that out there for y'all. But that's it. That's if you guys are interested. All right. But tonight you're gonna get a little bit of designing here. And I do feel like if you take my beginner class, like the advanced class, you may or may not need it because I do post a lot of the different techniques that I use to create my rhinestone templates. I do, I have videos on. Well, not I have lives on it, not necessarily videos, but it's a lot of content. You can get it. You can get it. But hey, y'all, let's see who's here. Hey, Monsieur Davenport, did you send me an email? And I didn't see what it said. It didn't have any like text attached to it. So if you did, please send it like again because it didn't. I don't know. It could be me. My phone and everything has been acting so weird all day, so weird all day. Hey, Miss Rosalind McElveen, Dr. Johnson, Rosetta Cobb, hey Nicole, hey Miss Merlinda, hey Faith, hey Lori, hey Nomi. So what are you guys working on tonight? We're about to get started. Can y'all believe I came? Well, 7 o'clock is my time, and so I told Dennis that I am going to get back to 7 o'clock so that I'm not on so late. Um, and we're gonna see how that's gonna go. So next week, if I don't come on at 7 o'clock, y'all let me have it. Let me have it if I'm not here on at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Let me have it. Hey, Robin's Creation. Rob, I was just about to click onto your video and then I got a phone call. I want to see like the cards that you made. I want to see the cards that you made. Hey, Bobby. Angel Boo, Tamika, Mrs. JB. Hey, girl. Hey, Beth. Miss Beverly, Roz, Dr. Blaine Custom Creations. Is it Trachina? I know somebody named Trachina. Tracina. Maybe it's Tracina. I know somebody named Trachina. Hey girl. Hey Kimmy. Hey Brandy. Brandy, I'm getting my DTF stuff situated. I already bought the little silica packs. I got some cardboard boxes. I'm just trying to make sure now. I wanted to do like a DTF mystery box, but I think I'm just gonna stick with maybe like a bundle with some of the prints like that. I know people may want multiples of prints, but we'll see. We'll see how that's gonna, what I look like. Hey Jesse. Hey Dempsey Boo. Hey girl. Kingsbury Crafts. Oh, so y'all know I don't like to be telling my what I'm gonna make or anything because sometimes people be taking as soon as I say it, I look up the next day and somebody got a design about exactly what I said I was gonna do. But so y'all know how sometimes I'm late, right? Or maybe all the time I'm late. I'm gonna make me a shirt that says craftably late. Like fashionably late. Yo, I know I'm corny. I know I'm corny. Hey Rachel, y'all. Rachel was over there learning that Juliet. She had a lot of help in the chat. Everybody was helping her out. You got to go over there and watch. Well, it's no longer Romeo Wednesdays, but you got to go watch the old Romeo Wednesdays. Right, Kristen? Doesn't that look so good? Hey, Kristen, girl, it looks so good. If you guys didn't know, this is Making with Marilyn's design. It says Uplift Her. And this is in her Etsy shop, Marilyn Smurfs Merch. This shirt, it's a size small. I realize I need to tell people like the size of the shirt so that you can kind of get an idea. And as you see, it's a pretty nice size. It's not too large. It's not too large to fit on a small shirt, and it's not, too small to fit on a large or extra large shirt. But just know, like, we'll talk a little bit about that. We do discuss that a little bit in the class, but we will talk a little bit about that today. This design is going to be so simple. It shouldn't even take us that long to do it and cut it out. It shouldn't take us that long. Angel Boo, I cannot with you. Hey, Radiant Rose. Hey, girl. All right, Oscar. Hey, Miss Martha Jordan. Hey, Tanya. What are y'all doing tonight? What are y'all up to? Hey, is it Chandria or Chandrea? Carmen. Hey, Carmen. All right, y'all. I'm scrolling down. Hey, Miss Rosetta Cobb. I'm scrolling down so that we can get started because I know y'all like. Hey, Shay. You've been handling your business. Both of my Shay's been handling their business and the social media stuff. I love it. Hey, Southern Girl Crafts Creation and C Mills. Hey, Rosalind. Rosalind, check your email from like around the 26th or the 27th. Check your email from that time. You probably have, because I think I saw a comment on Facebook, but girl, I don't know if y'all noticed, like that Facebook is a lot. The Facebook page is a lot. Check your email from around the 27th or the 26th or the 27th of December. Check and see. You should have the link for that class, like the Google Drive, and the replays are in there, girl. It was a lot of replays because I was on there for way too long, like way too long. So it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, let me scroll down. Hey, Lisa and Miss Jazzy G. If I missed y'all, don't take a break. Oh, there's my other Shay. Hey, Shay. Shay has been kicking, but y'all, if you guys do not follow Shay and you have not seen her Sunday lives, definitely check her Sunday lives out. She's making beautiful projects on these lives, and y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all don't want to miss it. All right, y'all. I gotta. Okay. Because y'all been talking a lot. Y'all been talking a lot. Let me go ahead and share my screen, y'all. Hey, Miss Marissa Crafts. Hey, Danny, Mylene, Karen Murray. Hey, Melody, and DB. Hey, Barb. Barb, did I see you earlier? I think so. All right, let me just add the screen. All right, let's get serious, guys. Let's get serious. Let me get my life together. All right. So this is Silhouette Studio. We're using the business edition of Silhouette Studio. Okay. And remember, I told you we're going to, when you're designing, because I get a lot of questions as far as people, wanting to know how to design, whether it's an SVG or whether it's rhinestones or whatever. But sometimes getting the ideas of what to design, when to design, how to design certain things, that's what a lot of people need help with. So tonight we're going to talk about something that's very popular, and what's very popular are like the zodiac symbols, zodiac signs. That's super duper popular. Okay. People love their signs. Ask a Leo. Ask a Leo if they love their sign. They may not believe in all that stuff that goes with it, but we're gonna say that we're Leo. Okay, we're going to rep our sign. And a lot of signs are like that. I'm gonna make the screen bigger so that we can see it better. A lot of signs are like that. So with Silhouette Studio, you can actually design SVGs from scratch. You can pull in SVGs and work on those and alter those. And remember, I told you a little bit about Creative Fabrica. We're going to talk a little bit about Creative Fabrica with my members, just so that you guys are, that you know what you can do. Okay, let's see. Listen, girl. Wait, Tandy, that's me. Don't care nothing about the astrology stuff, but honey, I'm going to rep my sign. Yes, that's so weird. That's so weird. And me too. I'm a Leo, honey. I'm a Leo, so I get it. All right, so that's what you're going to do with Silhouette Studio. Okay, you can create custom designs with Silhouette Studio. Okay, so we're going to bring in. So I realized that I do have a Pisces astrology type of template, but I've never done the Pisces symbol only. This is something very easy for us to do. So we're going to pull in an SVG. I'm going to go to File. We're going to go to Merge. And then here is the SVG that we're going to pull in. Now, sometimes I get people who get a little bit panicky when they get some of my templates and they open up their templates and it's inside of a Google Chrome window. You can't use an SVG in a Google Chrome window. Sometimes it's broken up. You only see parts of it. It's just for you to get a preview of it. You have to open up your SVGs inside of the actual software that you're going to be using to cut it or design or whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Okay, so exactly, Kristen, exactly. Oh, Andrea, don't act like that, girl. We're not gonna do that in the Leo's live. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to kind of make this a little bit smaller. So when you're working with rhinestones, rhinestones are thicker than the lines. Okay, so this is what you would call like a file, a vector file. An SVG is a vector file. Okay, so it works on lines, right? So your machine cares nothing about the color. When you get ready to cut it, your machine cares nothing about this color. All it cares about are these lines. Okay, so we're going to get ready to turn this into rhinestones. The rhinestones are, of course, they're wider than your lines. So when they're placed along the lines, along this edge, they're going to extend beyond the actual line. Okay. So you want to take that into consideration when you're designing your templates, just to know that this size right here is not what it's going to be once it's converted into rhinestones. Okay. It's not going to be, once it's converted into rhinestones, that's not going to be the size. All right, so for this design, we're going to create an outline, and we're also going to create a scatter effect around it so that you guys can see how that would look. Okay, so again, I do prefer the Silhouette Studio version of, Silhouette Studio Business Edition to make my rhinestone templates. I do have the Rhinestone Wizard. I have Caesar Leonardo. I have StarCraft Create, which is like the Shirkutsala is exactly like Shirkutsala. I do have other softwares that I can create templates in, but I prefer Silhouette Studio. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this. I know that I don't want to make it too large, but because I'm gonna create those offsets to create the scatter and the extra outlines, I'm not gonna make this too big. So we're gonna start out with this as, we'll start with about 9 inches wide, 9 inches high. This is pretty even. Let's just do 9. Uh-oh, not 99. Okay, there we go. We want 9, not 99. All right, so here we have it. I don't need to use that. All right, so this is just a regular SVG, okay? You can do this with any type of shape. You can do this with text, what I'm about to show you guys with text. You can do it with different, whatever you decide, okay? We're going to do two different, I think I want to show you guys two different ways of doing it. All right. So now we have our base here. So we're going to open up our offset panel. And there's a few things that I like to do. Now, if we want to do a fill, we're going to, you know what, I may not need that other one. We're going to create a fill, and then we're going to create an outline, okay? To create the fill, there's several ways that you can do it. You can just go ahead. Let's say if we wanted to, I'm going to show y'all a few different techniques of what you can do. And I kind of show these in my class too. So if you want to create an internal offset is the opposite of creating like a regular offset or a shadow around your image. So that goes on the inside. We're going to go internal offset. And with this internal offset, I'm going to keep this at 0.125, the distance at 0.125, because I don't want there to be a gap in between the fill and the outline. Okay, I don't want it to be a gap between the fill and the outline. That's why I have it at 0.125, but I'm going to leave it at 0.125 because I'm going to use different colors. If I were going to use the same color for that fill and the outline, I want to have this at least 0.15. I want that to be at least 0.15 because that way, if they're going to be the same colors, I don't want them to touch. Anytime you have rhinestones that are the same color, you don't want them to touch, because what will happen is that you will create a hole in your template, okay? So here I'm going to just select apply, and then that little, you see the red outline there, there's no fill color. If you look up here, you see that there's no fill color. This is the fill color, and this is the stroke or the outline color. So I'm going to go ahead and change that fill to pink, of course, and then I'm going to remove that red outline around it because I don't need it, okay? This part when creating your designs is very important because this is, you'll be able to save this as an SVG if you decide, hey, I want to use this as an SVG. I don't want to use it as, just rhinestones. You can take this outside of here and open it up inside of a digitizing software and digitize it. There's so many different things that you can do with it. So you may not, you're like, hey, I like it like that. I'm going to leave it just like that. All right. So I did an internal offset. The external offset just creates an outline around what we already have. I kind of like it like this because I feel like, it's cleaner, it keeps the shape better, in my opinion. This won't really matter, but when you're working with like letters, this matters the most. Okay, so now we're going to get ready and open up the rhinestone panel. We don't really need this. I can't get the right thing. Hold on, we don't really need this one. I'm just going to put it aside. Now, I do make copies of everything that I do as I go along, because you never know when you're going to need it, right? You just never know. All right, so let's open up the rhinestone panel, and the rhinestone panel is located all the way down here. It looks like a circle with cuts in it. Oh, Tandy, thank you. All right, so here we are. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to turn this into rhinestones. Now with Silhouette Studio, you have where you can do SS6 rhinestones, SS10 rhinestones. SS10 rhinestones are the most common size rhinestones, and they're easier to use. Now, if you decide that this is something that, hey, I can do a digital file and I can sell this, and you want to kind of get to people who are beginners, people who don't want to have to layer a 5-layer design, who don't want to have to piece a puzzle together, then, those that may be your clientele, right? So you may want to stick with SS10 stones. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn this into stone. So remember I said that this was going to be my fill, right? That pink. We have the pink selected. I'm going to go ahead. There's two ways that you can fill. You can fill it with a linear fill, or you can fill it with a radial fill. All right. Radial fill is my favorite. I do feel like the radial fill will be better here. But if we did a linear fill, this is what we would get. Right? That looks really good. And honestly, it's probably way better than what the radial fill is going to give me. Okay. This is what the radial fill will look like. Now, as you see with the radial fill, that's going to be a little bit more work for me, right? But if you look here, like that looks cute. That looks like, that looks cute, right? I can't say that it looks bad. Uh-oh. I can't say that that looks bad. I actually like how this looks, right? That looks good to me. So let's say I may want to move that to the side and be like, okay, that could be a decorative fill. That really looks like a decorative fill. It turned out pretty good. But if you don't want to do all of that work, you may say, you know what, I'm going to turn this into linear, and then I'll worry about filling in the rest, right? You don't have to do any work right now with this being in a linear fill. The next thing I want to do is I want to create the outline. So I'm going to select the black, and then we're going to head over to the rhinestone effect, and we're going to select the edge fill. And that creates the outline. Okay? That creates the outline. On a second, y'all. No questions. Are we all good? Hey, LaShonda. All right, y'all. Hold on. All right, so now we're going to select the edge fill, and see this creates an outline. So if you look here, we have this at 296 stones. It tells you how many stones, and that's only the black because that's what we have selected. And then we have our fill, and that's at 875 stones. Now, the way that we did this, we haven't talked about rhinestone spacing, but if you look in between here, you see like all that space in between the stones. I prefer to go with 0.15 spacing. 0.039 is the default spacing inside of Silhouette Studio. Does it look bad? No. When you reduce the spacing, you're going to add more stones to your design. Okay, you're going to add more stones to your design. So I will go ahead and reduce it. But if you guys look at this design, right, with it the way that it is, that linear fill doesn't look bad. And I'm pretty sure Maryland's somewhere like C. Patrice. I told you. I'm pretty sure she is, guys, but I'm not going to look at the chat to see what she says about it. But it looks good. The only thing I would do is probably kind of curve this up a little bit more, and it looks good. So you can play around with this software and reduce the amount of work that you have to do when you're doing your designs. Because right now, this, I like it. It looks more decorative, but this is perfectly fine too. It's perfectly fine. Now, as far as reducing the rhinestone space, I want to show you guys the difference. Okay, so I'm just going to make a copy of that one. I make tons of copies. So once we select this fill, And as far as the spacing is concerned, let's say I'm going to go down to what I prefer, 0.015. What I prefer may not be what you prefer, and that may not work for you. Marilyn, you're very linear. You're very linear. Marilyn, don't come on here trying to act like you're not. All right, so we're going to change that to point 0. Now, oh, Marilyn, that looks so good, girl. All right, look at this linear fill. So y'all see, and okay, that other one was what, 875 stones. Now this one, if you look here, when I select that, now that's 1,195 stones. All right, and let's just compare the difference between the two. Oh, that looks good, y'all. The only thing I don't like is like this little space up here and like in the where the curve is, but that's an easy fix. Okay. So look here. You see the difference between the two, like how they're more tight. It just looks really good. Here, I can deal with that. That looks good to me. What y'all think? SS6 look with the SS10. Yes, yes, yes. SS6 look with the SS10 size. All right. So we're going to go ahead. That looks good. I also want to go ahead and you see this outline right here. I want a tight outline. So I'm going to go ahead and select the outline and we're going to reduce the space in between the stones of that as well. All right. So now look how tight that looks. Now I did 0.015. I'm not going to go too much below that. Now, sometimes I may go 0.014, but you don't want to go too far below 0.015 because then your rhinestones are going to get really close and they may not look like they're touching on the screen. But remember that blade, they're still, the blade is still thick, right? And so when it starts to cut, when you reduce it too much, then that may impact the cut. All right. So now that looks good. I'm happy with that. So now we're ready to start creating our offsets or our shadows or our scatter. Okay. So we'll do it multiple ways or two different ways, and then we're going to save it and cut it. All right. So I'm going to go back over. I'm going to undock this here and we're going to open up the offset panel. Hey, Miss Gail. These are just practice to know the spacing you can use. Yeah, you should know because it can mess up your cut. So I have only the black selected. We're going to select offset. And so remember I told you with the 0.125, that offset is really, really close. Okay, we don't want it really close. So I'm going to change this to 0.015, not 0.15, because I want to use the same color. So I want it to be black. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to turn that black. So now that's not going to touch when it gets ready to cut. You see how this row of black does not touch those. Now this row of black is close to the pink, and that's what I want, right? But this row of black is not close to that second row. So that 0.015 gives you a good amount of space so that you don't have to worry about cutting a hole in your rhinestone template. All right. Hey, Fern. Hey, Mocha Crochet. D. Smith. Hey, y'all. All right. So the next thing that I want to do is we could create a whole nother offset, or we can start creating a little bit of a scatter. So it's all up to you. You can have something like this, and then you don't, if you just want to, you may have customers that just want this. You don't have to necessarily have a fill. I like a fill in everything, right? Now you can add another offset. Let's go here and add an offset here. I'm going to change this. It's still at 0.015. We're going to select apply. And then we're going to, let's say this is a template, right? Guess what? Y'all see how easy that was and quick that was? You look, we have a template right now. It's 9.602 inches wide. That's what this says. It's going to be a little bit larger. Remember I told you with rhinestones, the size that you see right here at first until we get ready to break it up, that's not going to always be the correct size. It's an average. It's close to it, but it's not necessarily the size that it's going to be. All right. But here we have, and I can resize this. I can make this larger now. I can make it smaller. I can change it from SS10. Let's see if I want to say, let's see how this is going to look as SS6. If I clicked SS6, it's going to update it to SS6. And this is what it looks like as SS6. It only did that one. Hold on, let me select everything. When you're working in Silhouette Studio, the business edition, and you're working with rhinestones, you can change the size of it. You can change the size of your stones. all up until the point where we're going to get ready to release those rhinestones. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go back to SS10. I'm going to change this back to SS10 because, honey, we're not cutting out SS10 tonight. Okay, we're not cutting out SS10. So that's what we have for this one. And y'all see how that looks. Isn't that so nice? You don't even have to have that fill on the inside. And we don't have to move any stones. We don't have to move any stones, okay? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to make this a little bit smaller. I'm probably going to save both of these. I don't know if there's any Pisces out here, but if there are, I'll share the file with y'all. All right, so I made a copy. All right, so now let's do something a little bit different. All right, so now I'm going to just make a scatter. So this particular layer, we're going to start scattering that layer. And I want you guys to see. You see, that's that third layer. I'm just going to head over here to the rhinestone effect, and we're going to add spacing into that. So let's go ahead and maybe do like 0.075 spacing. When you're doing your scatter, it's just a matter of preference. What you like, how you like that scatter to look is 100% up to you. Okay. Now we're going to go back. We're going to do another internal. We're going to go to offset. When you're doing your scatters, you work with your offset panel and your rhinestone panel. Okay. Those are the two panels that you will be working with when you're doing your scatter. You're going to create an offset. Now, as far as distance is concerned, you can add more distance. Okay. If you don't want it to be so tight, you can add more distance. So I'm going to go and we're just going to change this to 0.25. I'm going to click apply. Uh-oh, yo, let me grab my charger. I got to grab my charger. I don't want to be like Marilyn. Hold on. Yo, I put new software on my on this computer, and it is zapping it. It is zapping. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. I'm not gonna be in my Maryland era tonight. That's for certain. Okay. So you see how much space now is in between that third layer of stones and the one that we just created when I did 0.25? That's a lot. So do we like that? Let's look and see if we like how that looks. And then let's say we add, now I'm going to add some more spacing in between that. So we had 0.075. Let's do 0.150. Almost half. I think I have too much space in between that third one and the fourth one. So I'm going to delete that. So let's go back, get that third one. And I also want to maybe add 0.1. Let's go ahead and do another offset. Marilyn, I made it. My computer is charging now, girl. Miss Jazzy G, see if you can make it smaller. If you go into your preferences and see if you can reduce the size of the icons. All right, so now we're going to bring this back down. We're going to bring this down to 0.2, right? Because that was just too much. I'm going to click apply. And as you see, as I keep adding each additional offset layer to this, it makes your design larger. Because look, we started out with a 9.5 by 9.5. Now we're all the way up to 10 by 10. Okay, so at this point, I'll start to just make sure that I'm not getting too large because I want to create a design that can fit on a small shirt. My goal is small, extra large, and maybe 2X, right? But I don't want to have to create multiple sizes for each size shirt. So here we're going to add a little more spacing in between this layer, and I'm going to go with let's go with 0.2. Let's double it. Just so you guys could see how the spacing looks. So we added even more spacing. I'm going to go with black. And then we're going to do something like that. Now let's add another offset. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to change this to 0.25. We're going to click apply. And then I'm just going to turn this back black. We're going to remove this and I'm going to add more space. So we have 0.2. I'm going to go ahead and double that to point, not double it, but I'm going to make it, maybe I should do it 0.4. We'll do it 0.3. So right now, if you look, the size that we have this is now 10.503 inches wide by 10.501 inches high. All right, y'all, we're done. We have two different designs here. Look, I'm going to have to open up the rhinestone panel. So now we have one that looks like, I'm going to move all of this over to the side because we don't really need this. This is all we really, we don't need. I'm not going to be making another Pisces, even though that little one was cute. Let me just leave it like this because I don't know what I want to do. All right, so now we're going to move this. So now you have two different looks. You see that? You have one where you have like the tight fill, the tight offset. And when I move that out of the way, you see how that looks. And then you have this one where you have more so like a scatter. Those are designs that people like. People like those designs. You don't even have to have the fill. You can, if you want to have the fill, you can if somebody wants it. But this right here, y'all know, and I'm putting this on my website just so that y'all know. Okay, so don't be saying like, oh, why'd you put that on my site? It's gonna be on my site. But you can change up that spacing like around, you can even create more of a scatter, more of like a burst effect, right? It doesn't have to look so neat. Like this just looks neat. But that's because I didn't really go, too out of control with the spacing in between the stones. All right. Super quick. We're not even having to move stones around for this. That's what you want. You want to be able to make those types of designs that you don't have to spend too much time on, but there's something that you can sell. Okay. That's something that you can sell. LaShonda, thank you, girl, for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you. Can you do, y'all, the same way we did this right here with this with the Pisces symbol, you can do this with text. We'll do something really quick with some text, okay? And then I'm going to break this down and we're going to cut. You know what? Let me break this down and cut it first. And then we'll look at some text too. Okay. So let's say we go here. Now you have, this is like a twofer, right? This is a twofer design. So you have one design here and then you put this and this is another one, depending on what people want. Okay. Some people may not want to have, they may not have access to multiple colors. They may not have access to all of these stones. So they may not necessarily want that. All right. So I'm going to move this over. We're going to open the rhinestone panel up again. And where's the rhinestone panel? Right here. And remember how I said with the designs, when you're doing rhinestones, it's really measuring the vector, right? The dimensions are based on the vector design, the vector portion. Once we release the rhinestones, then we'll get a more accurate size of this template. All right. So now we're going to head over to the rhinestone panel again. We're going to, I have all of these selected. We're going to release all of these stones at one time because, honey, I don't have time to be releasing by color. Okay. We're going to release all of them. If you look down here right now, this is telling us that this is 2,379 rhinestones. Okay. That's how much this template will take. If we just have the black stones, that is 1,184 rhinestones. So if you decide that you want to sell these, sell shirts, guess what? I don't have to have so many rhinestones. I just need 1,100. That's about 10 gross of stones. That's all you really need. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to select all of this. We're going to head over to the rhinestone panel and I'm going to select release rhinestones. Once I select release rhinestones, all of these stones are going to be broken up. Now this part, if you're very new to rhinestones, and this is one of the first things that you're going to be, trying out, you have to release your rhinestones. You have to release them. Okay. So especially if you're going to be exporting them outside of Silhouette Studio, if you don't have a Cameo, these steps I'm showing right now are the most important steps that you'll need in order to be able to pull them into Cricut Design Space or pull them into Caesar Leonardo. Tonight we're going to be cutting with our Juliet. All right. So here we have our stones. As y'all saw, they were all broken up. Now I can click onto each stone individually. If you look here, I can click onto here. All right. There are times where in certain scatters, or like I may not want it to go so wide, so I may kind of remove some of the stones on the side and that sort of thing. I really don't have to move anything in here. Like this is almost perfect. The only thing that I personally don't like is those stones laid so nice. I just don't like this curve right here. Like I don't like this empty space right here or that empty space right there. But can I sleep at night with it like that? I can. Okay, I can. But if you can't sleep at night with it and you're like, you know what, I need to fill that in. That doesn't look good. I'm zooming in, y'all. I like to make sure I'm nice and zoomed in so I can see everything. So I might go ahead and just kind of fill this in. Remember, you don't want any stones that are overlapping. Okay, so don't worry, we're not going to have overlapping stones. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. All right, so here we have this like this, and then I'm just going to go ahead and move some of those stones around just like that so I can still get that curve that I want, right? I don't want it to be broken up. I don't want there to be missing stones. And now look. So now I have a curve that I like, that I want. So that means that I have to do that for the other sides. You don't have to do that. And guess what? If you didn't want to do the fill, if you just want to do the the outline like the black, you don't even have to, you could have deleted that. You didn't even have to turn that into stones like that, right? I just want to show you guys with doing like, if you have a fill, how to do the fill, stuff like that. But you don't have to do that, okay? But now because I've committed to this at this point, now I have to do it, because if I don't, child, I'm not, I'll be up all night trying to think it. Oh no, you don't need to do it. Then I'll end up getting up at 2 o'clock and I'll end up doing it. So it's not worth it for me not to do it. See, I can even move some of these stones like a little bit closer and maybe make room for another one, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it just like this. Okay, and let me go ahead and go a little bit smaller. We're going to cut this out. I should go ahead and do my other. I might as well. Why not? You see how this one looks over here? But you didn't, as y'all saw, you did not have to. Sometimes you just have people who are just extra. They just can't, you know, it's just not gonna sit right with them if they don't do it exactly. But just because I'm doing this does not make this right. This is not, my way is not the right way. Like, you do what works best for you and your clients. So, but when you're moving stones around, you just want to make sure that they're not touching. Okay, that's why I zoom in so that I can make sure that none of those stones are touching each other when I place a new one around. Okay, and if you don't want it to touch like the black, or if you have another color there, then go ahead and do that. But we're committed to doing this the right way. All right. All right, I'm gonna scroll back over. I gotta do all of them. Sorry, y'all. I was like, you're not, and I told myself I wasn't gonna do this today. I said it. I was like, you ain't gonna go trying to, do it because you're trying to show them like the easy way. I already showed y'all the easy way. That you don't have to spend tons of your time on rhinestone templates. You can create designs like this. These are sellable images. If you decide that you want to, dive into digital sales, you can. And you don't have to do, you don't have to do the most. You don't. You can create things like this, and this is just as nice. And I'm telling you, people love their signs. They love it. All right, we're gonna go down to that the little bottom part. Let me scroll back over. Oh, did I go down too far? Oh, I was going to say, did I go down too far? But that was the side. All right, and we're just gonna clean this up. We're gonna save this. I'm gonna open this up in Leonardo and cut it out. What time is it? It's still kind of early. How long I've been on? Oh, we haven't even been on here for an hour. Yo, we got to work today. All right, so let me I'm just, this is all that I'm doing just to fit it into place. Like I'm moving some of them around. That's why I like to have them all released. because I can kind of maneuver. Like, let's say you see this black one, I can move that because that's released too. I can kind of move it down if that's what I wanted to do. There's benefits of having all of the stones released at the same time. The one thing that I didn't mention is that when I released the stones, if you noticed, I moved everything else away from the canvas, because if you have something on the canvas and you release this design, when you get ready to group everything back together, it's gonna try to, hold on, let me see if I can scroll all the way over. Maybe not. I was almost there. I got too impatient. I didn't want to keep scrolling. But you want to have only your template on the canvas when you release everything. Okay. All right. Let's go up. We'll move down, and then we're gonna go here. I'm gonna move this over here a little bit. Move this down, and then we're going to. All right. That looks good. I'll move this up. We're just slightly moving it, not too much. All right. And I'm just gonna move that down just a little bit. These are touching, they're gonna be fine. You guys will see. We're gonna brush them in. All right. But I'm gonna brush in the black first so that you guys can see that we really didn't need that. Now, I would do the same thing with this when I'm done. When I'm done with this part, I would do the same thing with this. And I'll show you guys when we start cutting this one out, I'll show you. All right, so now we're going to get ready and we're going to piece this together. So I'm going to open up the Select by Color panel. And the Select by Color panel, it allows us to group light colors together without, that's why I was able to release all of these stones at one time, because at this point, trying to group them together, I would have to connect them all together, select each individual, and nobody has time for that. So now we're going to go to Select by Fill. I'm going to select the black. And that, as you notice, that selected everything here on the screen. Now there is black on the other parts of the screen, right? Whether it's rhinestones or whether it was that SVG that we originally had. In options, I have include groups, and then I also have only shapes on media. This is your media. So I only wanted to get the shapes on the media. Okay. Thanks, Mirror Bear. I got time left. All right, so now that I have all of the black selected, I'm going to right click, I'm going to group. These steps are very important. So we released the rhinestones, we adjusted the design, we moved stones around, then we selected by color. We're selecting the black and we grouped the black together. Once you group the black together, you're going to select Make Compound Path. The color went away, but it's fine. We can go ahead and add that color back. And I'm going to remove the red outline. Now, all of those colors are together. When you make something into a compound path, oh, Rachel, it's not, thank you. When you make something into a compound path, I hope I don't blow a fuse, y'all. My new DTF printer, y'all, it's taking up so much power. All right, so when you make something into a compound path, you're making it one. Okay, so we just made, I think it was what, 875 rhinestones. We just made that into one, where the software thinks that it's just one. Okay, so now if I move this all, look at that, they're all together. They're all together. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to select the pink. All the pink selected, we're going to right click and group. You can group from your object panel, from the toolbar panel, or you can group, but I right click. So we're going to group. Once that's grouped together, we're going to make that into a compound path also. Right click, make compound path. And I'm just going to change that color. What's the Pisces color, y'all? What color is Pisces? What is their color? Can the Pisces let me know? So now when I select this, remember before we broke this down and we released the rhinestones, the size was like a 10.5. So once we finalized everything and we didn't add any extra offsets or anything to it, now the size is telling us that it's a 10.626. That is because, and 10.614, that is because those rhinestones, they're wider than the line. Okay, so now we have the exact size of it. All right. So we're going to head up to File. I'm going to select Save Selection because I have a lot of stuff on the screen. Aquamarine or Seafoam. Not purple goes with everything. All right, so we're going to select Save Selection. And then I'm going to select Save to Hard Drive. And we're going to save this as um, Pisces symbol. And then I'm going to put in the file name, the size is SS10, right? And then, I'm not equal. And then I want to put the size. So the size is 10.626 inches wide by 10.614 inches high. So you guys see the measurements here. That's why I have it selected. So that way, when I get ready to save it, I can see exactly what the size is. So it's 10.626 inches wide by 10.614 inches high. Okay. Then, what are you doing? Then, girl, the keys on my Mac it's different from the PC. I always get messed up. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to save this. So I need to change the save as type from the Silhouette Studio file, because if I save as a Silhouette Studio file, then I can only use it with my Silhouette Studio software. Okay, so we're going to change the save as type to an SVG. You can only do this. Thank you, Radiant Rose. You can only do this with the business edition. Okay, with the business edition, we can take this out, upload it onto Etsy, upload it onto a website, and sell this digital file with the business edition. You cannot do this with the basic edition or the designer edition. You cannot export it out as an SVG. With the designer edition, we can create the Rhinestone template, but you cannot export it out. With the basic edition, you can't even do a Rhinestone template with the basic edition. Okay, I do have a link listed below for the business edition. If you already have the basic edition, you just have to add in, I think it's the key, I was about to say the network key. Y'all know what key I'm talking about. So we're going to say SVG, right? So now I'm ready to save this. I'm going to put this in my downloads. That's where I want it. And I'm going to select OK. All right, so now we're good to go. Okay, we're going to open this up inside of Leonardo. I was going to design something similar in Leonardo tonight, but we don't have time for that. And plus, Leonardo hold, let me open and close it out again. Save changes, no. I'm going to open it up again. Leonardo is not, as far as like scatter, you can do offsets with Leonardo. You can do different things with Leonardo, but it's not the same as Silhouette Studio and like the functionality. Like, it's just not the same. But you can, if you have Caesar Leonardo, you can create a Rhinestone template in there. Maybe one night, I don't know if it'll be this month or next month's time, we will design a template. We've done it before. But, so now I'm just going to import. Where is our design? Let me go to Documents. Our design was Pisces. Here it is right here, Pisces symbol. We're going to bring that in. Cut only. It is a cut only because this is a SVG. This is what we're cutting. We're cutting it. We're not doing anything to design it. All right. And here, colors in use. We have 2 colors. Okay. I'm going to select apply. And here is our template. Now, the first thing that we need to make sure that's correct is the measurement, right? So if you look right here, we can see that this says it's 10.626 inches wide by 10.614 inches high. Generally, I don't have any issues with Leonardo. That's the one good thing. When I bring anything into Leonardo, the size is always perfect. And if you look here, the file name is right here. So Pisces symbol, SS10, 10.626 inches wide by 10.614 inches high. It's all right here. It's all here. So I know that that's perfect. All right. So I'm actually going to change the cutting mat to 24. It shouldn't take us long to cut this out. To 24, not 14. So I'm just adjusting the cutting mat. When your files come into Leonardo, they always come in grouped. Okay. So I'm going to ungroup it. And I'm definitely going to ungroup it because these are 2 different layers. These are 2 different colors. Okay. So we're going to right click and we're going to select ungroup. Now that we have it ungrouped, y'all, now we're ready to get started and cut. All right. When you have a design that has multiple colors, you want to make sure that you separate those colors, because if not, if I send it to the cutter like this, I put a bounding box around it, guess what? I'm going to have holes because y'all know I made those pink stones super close to that black edge. Thank you, Carla. Hey, Evie, very close. All right. So I'm just going to bring this down, and we're going to create a bounding box around it, a weeding to help us weed it. All right. So I'm just going to select here. We're going to select the square, and I'm just going to kind of make sure that those cut lines don't touch. And you see the crosshairs. Now I can see that nothing's, that's not going to touch. So I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to go here, and we're good. Now I'm going to select both, and we're going to right click. I'm going to go down to paths, and we're going to select combine paths. Now I have my template. It's going to cut it out just like that for me with the box around it. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create another box around this part. And remember, these both can be used independently. They don't have to be used together. Okay. So we're going to go here, and we're going to just make sure those lines, like the edges, are not touching. All right, so here we have it. This is our box. I'm gonna bring it over a little bit, and we're going to go ahead. We're gonna select both of those. We're gonna right click, go to paths, and combine paths. All right, so y'all, we're ready to cut this now. I'm gonna cut this part first. I don't know why I like to cut out of it. It's just you don't do that. Like you can cut whatever you want to cut first. All right, so now I'm going to do this. I'm just going to change both of these colors to the same color just because it's out of habit. And we're going to send this to our cutter. All right, so I'm going to click send design, all artwork, move, blah, 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 send, and then send to cutter. I'm not going to use the settings here. We're going to do send to cutter. And then I'm going to select advance to end. Let's head over to Juliet. I'm in the wrong. Where am I? Oh, here I am. We're going to add Juliet to the screen. I'm going to remove the software screen for now, and then we'll go back in and we'll do a word. We'll do some text so you can see it, okay? I forgot who asked about doing some text. Hey, Corey G. I forgot who said that, but we're going to do it. All right, so let me remove this for now, and we're going to just make little Miss Juliet large. And so the advance to the end of cut. So I'm not going to be using a mat. I'm going to be cutting from my roll. When you cut from the roll, if I click return to starting position, once I cut it, it's gonna bring all of that flock. It's gonna take all the flock back to that initial cutting position. If I click advance, it's gonna end exactly where it cuts at the end. So it's not gonna roll back. It's not gonna go back underneath the rollers or anything like that, because that's what's gonna happen. As it's cutting, it's gonna be coming out this way, and then if I click return to starting position, it's going to bring everything back to that original starting position. So I don't necessarily want that. I like to keep it, especially when I'm working on a roll. So here's the roll that we're going to be using. I'm going to put this in a machine. Let me see if I can bring you guys up higher. And then this shouldn't take long for us to cut. Okay, there's little Miss Juliet. Juliet, are you on? Okay, Juliet's on. I had to see it. It's like she was a little bit sleepy or something. I don't know. She was like, girl, you're taking forever to do that. You told me it was going to take us 20 minutes to design that. And here you are. Now I do have the roll holder, but I don't have it over here. So we're going to put this in. Let me bring her up a little bit. Let me make sure she's up. I'll put it back down. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to... Y'all, it's hard to do this right here like this with y'all. But I'm just going to bring this way underneath the pinch wheels. So now we have it underneath the pinch wheels. I like to kind of line mine up a little bit, even though I have like a jagged cut. But you want to use this to kind of help you line it up so that it's straight, right? We're not using a mat, y'all. I don't use a mat cutting flock. And then I'm going to bring those pinch rulers down. I don't use a mat to cut anything except like cardstock or sticker paper. That's about it. Outside of that, that's why I love using the Caesar cutters. All right. So I'm just gonna, so that this isn't, this material is heavy, and because it's heavy, it can be a little bit like when it starts to go through the cutter, that can be problematic. Okay, so you want to like loosen it up a bit. At least that's what I do. And I usually don't. I'm not in such a tight place with my flock, but it's fine. So now I'm just gonna bring this back to the starting position. And here's our starting position, right? Now I'm gonna make sure that our blade is right here in the corner where I want it to start to cut. Okay, so I want it to start to cut here, and it's gonna bring it out. Okay, it's gonna start cutting, and it's gonna bring it out. So the next thing I want to do is I want you guys to see. So I have this at 13, and it's at 54. So 13 speed, and it's at a 54. When you're cutting rhinestone flock, you have to test it out. Okay, 50 works now for me. 45 will work too, but I'm gonna do it at 50. You have to test it out, okay? Because as this blade, cuts more flock, I'm gonna need to increase it a little bit, maybe to 60, 61, but you gotta test it out. All right. So now we're ready to cut. I'm gonna head back over to the machine, to the computer, and I'm gonna select OK, and this is gonna start cutting it out. Okay. And so we'll see how long it takes it to cut. It's 8:52. Somebody remember the time for me, because I'm not going to remember the time. It's 8:52. So we're going to see how long this is going to take to cut. And I think somebody said I need to use aquamarine. So I'll get some aquamarine. And what other, maybe, oh no, what if I use the aquamarine chrome like in my shirt? That would look good. All right. So we're going to add the software screen to the stage. Let me see if you guys have any questions. So you see like this, so that's the starting position right here. That's where I said the starting position, and it cuts like that. So it ends up, when it comes out, it's just going to hang like this. It's not going to go back to this original position. Kristen, I hope that like this kind of visual will help better. So that's how it does. Like it's not going to go back here. It's going to end right here, and it'll stop right there. Yep, the backing is on it. That's why it's okay. The backing is on it. You just, when you're cutting without a mat, you have to test it out, because you don't want it to cut through the backing. Okay, you don't want it to cut through the backing. Okay. Yeah, I lined it up right there on the edge. Some people prefer the back. Some people prefer the mat. Some people don't. I'm a matless type of person. Like that's why I love the StarCraft Solo so much, because it was like I didn't have to use a mat. So when the Romeo came after the StarCraft Solo, I was like, oh, that's perfect. I don't have to use a mat. I have the Cricut Venture. The Cricut Venture cuts really good for me with flock. It really does. When I tell you I have no holes left behind when I'm using the Venture, but the hassle of getting that huge mat, cutting the flock down to fit, I feel like I waste less flock this way as opposed to when I have to put it on a mat. Hey, Miss Sandra. February is amethyst, March is aquamarine. Okay. All right, so let's look a little bit more. So I'm going to head back over to Silhouette Studio. It's going to cut both of these parts for me. We're going to head to Silhouette Studio. And I hope you guys remember, anybody who's trying to do templates, I hope that you remember the steps as far as releasing the rhinestones, adjusting them however you need, grouping them back together by color, and then making each of those colors into a compound path. That order is very important. And I'm going to show you this in a second. So you guys see how we had this right here. I like this fill better. So let's say I don't want that fill. Well, I didn't mean to move that one. I meant to move the pink. Let's say I don't want that fill. I can go ahead and add this one over here. Because remember, I didn't change the size. It's still a perfect size, right? It's still the same size. Now, once you release the stones, I can't adjust this size. This is the size. Once I release them, put them back together like this is the size. I cannot change this at this point. I cannot change the rhinestone size. Okay, so this one is pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and group this and put this over to the side. Now for this right here, let's say if you wanted to do like I'm gonna make a copy of this. Let's say you wanted to do like HTV and bling, right? Because I still have this copy, and that's why it is important to make sure you have copies on the side as you go, right? I'm gonna go ahead and change this back out of rhinestone. So I'm gonna head over to the rhinestone template, or to the rhinestone panel, and we're gonna select none. So now, y'all, I have an SVG. I have an SVG and a bling template right there. We can do an SVG bling template, right? Let's say even for this one right here. So the one that we already created right here, let me say I take this black here. This one's already done. Yo, I cannot move nothing. Let me ungroup this. So this one is already done. So I can't adjust any of these stones, but I can put, we can have, if we want to put HTV in there, you can. I just got to position it good, but you can have HTV and something like that. So as you're creating these designs, you think of what you want to do or different ways. You can make multiple options for your customers if you're going to be selling them digitally, right? It doesn't all have to be the same. So those are just some ideas, some suggestions for y'all. You don't have to do it, but and now we're gonna look at text. Okay, so here you have, so this one is still one that I can adjust. I can make it bigger or smaller if I want to. So let's put this back together. So let's say if I want to make this smaller, I can make it smaller, and the rhinestones will regenerate. Right, you see how now it's less, 1671. You can make it a little bit larger. Like, there's different things that you can do with this. Okay, can you use a solid piece for applique? You can use a solid piece for applique. So let's say if you wanted to do I have chroma on here? So let's say if you wanted to use this, you want your bling template, right? And you want to do this as like an applique here. So what I would do is all I'm going to do now is, you see, I just have this one selected, right? So if I click ungroup, let's say I go up here, I do file, save selection to hard drive. I'm only saving that part. I'm going to do Pisces, and this is what I generally do when I'm doing like an applique bling, applique whatever, like if I'm adding stuff, I'm going to put EMB for embroidery. And then I just want to make sure that this size comes in correct, 8.751 inches wide by 8.75. They're about the same. All right, and so I'm going to save this as an SVG because guess what? I prefer SVGs inside of any documents. I prefer SVGs inside of my chroma or in brilliance. All right, so now I'm gonna go here. Let's see. Do I have chroma? I think I have chroma on here. Let's hope. I have embroidery legacy, but I thought I have chroma on here. I don't see it. I could have sworn I did, y'all, but maybe not. Nope. I thought I had chroma on here. Maybe I took it off. I don't see chroma on here. I have it on my other computer. So I feel like putting that. So let's say how I saved it. You can open it up inside of chroma, and I can't believe I don't have chroma on here. What computer do I have chroma on, y'all? Outside of my MacBooks, I could have sworn. We gotta look. This is going super fast. right, let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a second, and then let me just see something. It's cutting. It's cutting. It's cutting. I may have to send it to myself. Hold on. Gmail. Just one I had Chrome on here. But to be honest, I use my MacBook mostly for everything. And I'm only using it for designing because more people have it, and it's the PC, more people have PCs. So it makes a little sense to me to do it like that. But I don't know. Maybe since I don't do Chroma classes, I don't necessarily but I'm very upset about that, guys. All right, let me see. Plain. What is that called? I have Pisces symbol. Pisces. Open. All right. I'm gonna see if I send it to myself, and then we'll still go. We'll still do some text. The text is identical, guys. It's identical to. Oh, I'm in here. Gmail. Let me start it. Let me spell my screen. Yeah. Hey, Boyd Apparel, Miss Deborah Browning, Gail, hey, Gail, Brandon, guys. All right, let me see Gmail. All right, so it's already done with that other part. Download. All right, let's see, download. All right, let me go to Chrome. Let me bring you guys in now. I got all types of stuff on this computer. This is crazy. I usually don't have. I try to close out everything, but we just gonna do it. Like, we're just gonna do it. That's it. Me turn my thing on mute though. I'm not trying to blow out eardrums. Not trying to do that. Alright, let me go mute. Stop camera. Enter. Alright, hopefully. Okay. Alright, let me go Chroma. Let me click add to stage. Y'all, this is too much. Add to stage, share screen, allow to share screen. Share entire screen. Alright, so now we're in Chroma. So remember we just saved that other file onto for the Pisces symbol. So here's the symbol, and I also have the bling portion of it too. So here's the so this came in, the size says 8.75 by 8.75. That's exactly the size that we need it to be, right? Let me just double check. 8.75 by 8, basically the same. All right. So let's say we're going to convert this into an applique, and we're just doing it the easy way. Okay, so we just converted that into applique. Over here we have, let's say we change this from attack down to, we're going to leave it as a 1. We're going to change the colors, and that's fine. We can make the applique, we can make it a little bit thicker if we want to. Apply. Let's see what that looks like. Be realistic. And then we can also change the density, but we don't leave the density like this because we're really not trying to do this for real, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, I would go ahead, save this file, right? If you want to do a cutout of the applique, we already have the cut file in Silhouette Studio, but this would be us doing it as an applique. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this artwork, save as image, and we're just going to say Pisces applique. And then I'm going to change this as, I'm going to change this to documents, and we're going to change this as a PNG. Right, I'm going to click save. This is going to be transparent background. Everything looks good. Okay. So now I save that, right? So if I ran, this is 100. This is 100% usable at this point. That's the run. That's the tack down. That's the run stitch, and then that's the applique or the satin stitch. All right. So now we're going to go into Silhouette Studio, and for those of you, this is I redid this design to fit onto my shirt, so I had to redo it, y'all. Let's go to new. Hey, Miss Evelyn Warner. So now we're going to bring in the. Girl, why you want to go slow on me now? Don't be acting up because people are here. Don't do it. All right, so let's bring in that design. I'm gonna go to downloads. I'm gonna bring in. This is the bling version of it. Then I'm gonna bring in that one that we just did. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why now. I think I just have too much stuff. I have like 5 things on right now. All right, so let's. I'm trying to see what's on. Am I not on mute? I'm trying to make sure I'm on mute, y'all. I don't see it. I'm on mute. I'm about to get off of this real quick. All right, so let's bring that other part in. Go to documents, the Pisces applique. So I'm going to resize this to 8.75 because it came in too big. Was it 8.75? Come on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. 8.75. So now we have that size, and if I move the rhinestones out of the way, we can fit it in here now. Come over. So now you would have your applique. You know, it's like a little bit too not big enough. I know the sound. I can't take that sound out. But that's kind of how you would do it. Okay? It's not as full as I want it to be, but I think because I have something wrong. That's what I think. I don't like to bring in the bling version here. I don't know why this is doing this to me. Let me see if I bring in the bling. Oh. So here's, okay, so this is what that bling looks like. Oh, this is driving me crazy. The sound is driving me crazy. So the only thing that you would do, like I would just, if I'm doing it, I would just make sure that that offset is a little bit, you know, has a little more distance. If you're gonna do like, hold on, if you're gonna do bling, because you see how that black would be right there at that edge, I would give it a little more distance. So that's just, it's kind of good to know, like if that's the plan ahead of time. So if I delete this part, so you, because we won't do the middle, you know, that this is going to be applique, right? But here you just want to make sure that you know that if you're going to do that, you want to make sure that you know. Because I did make this a little bit thicker. So let's see if I took this down, I changed that. Let's make it 3.0, but I like a thick Can y'all hear the sound like that, or is it just me that hears it? So if I reduce the applique width, it's still, you see like now it's a little bit better, but it's still pretty close. But that's up to you and what you would like. I think when I put the computer on this one on the MacBook, that's when I started having most issues. All right, we're gonna leave out of here. I'm kicking you out. 'Cause not the alien shit. I kicked it out. We're gonna remove it altogether. But it can be done. You just if you're gonna do applique, you just need to make sure you know that you're gonna do it. Yeah, I'm closing out of here. Leave page. Alright, I hope that's better. Because it's just a lot of stuff in here. Alright, so let's do I can't take it. That's driving me crazy. That was too much. I don't know. All of a sudden, I think maybe because I added the other computer. I don't know. Oh, it's done. It's done. Okay, let me show you real quick with the word. Let's do the word hi. Okay, with something very quick. Okay, something very quick. So let me share my screen again. Add to stage. All right, here we are. Okay, so I'm just gonna type in the word hi, and this is the same. It's the same thing. If you're typing in text or whatever you're typing in, you can do the same thing. Now, hi. Let's say I'm gonna change this font to. Let's change. Let's see what Jelly Puff looks like. Oh, that's cute. All right, so we're gonna change it to Jelly Puff, and I'm gonna ungroup it. So with font, you'll see like there's just like a lot of space, right? It's measuring all that space. So if I ungroup it, we get it a little bit closer. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it down right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just group that back together again. By ungrouping it, it removed all of that unnecessary space that was there and giving us a false measurement. All right, let's turn this black. I'm gonna remove that outline. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we can go ahead. I know we did the internal thing. You don't have to do that. I'll do it now again in case you want to see it, but let's go ahead and do internal offset. I'm going to take this back to 0.125 because I like a close fit. I like a snug, tight fit. So we're going to change that, and I'm going to change this to, let's change this to this pretty blue color. I'm going to right click and group that together. Y'all see there's bounding boxes. There's 3 bounding boxes, so that's not grouped together. So I'm going to go ahead and group it together now. Let's open up our rhinestone panel. I'm going to go a little bit faster now because we did this with the text. It's identical. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to select the word hi. I have the blue portion selected, the internal part. We're going to go ahead and fill this in. Now, this is with the radial fill. Ooh, y'all. But y'all see that spacing with that 0.3 spacing? I'm going to bring that a little bit closer, okay? I'm going to go back to 0.015. Now, there are times that you may want to have a wider spacing like that. It's up to you, okay? So let's see. I'm going to go ahead, 0.015. Now, that just brought everything super close together. That's a lot of stones for that. That's 1,900 stones, okay? You can adjust the spacing. Let's see if we go ahead and do the linear fill, what that looks like. That's what the linear fill looks like. You may like it like that, but y'all know I'm going to want to top that off. Like, I want that to look a little bit better. But outside of that, this looks wonderful, okay? It looks wonderful, all right? So it's up to you. The next thing that I want to do, I'm going to go back and change it to what I do that. Y'all see that that's the difference with the radial fill. The radial fill gives you that, but the radial fill can be more work. It can. All right, so we're going to select the black. I have the blue selected. Let me select the black. And then we're going to create that outline. Okay, so now we have the outline created. The next thing we're going to do is, let me go ahead and remove. Okay, there goes the blue. It looks better. The next thing we're going to do is, you may not want that fill, right? You may just want some sparkly stuff around your word high. So let's open up that offset panel. I should have kept the rhinestone panel open too, but I'm going to open it up in a second. Let's do offset, and that's a 0.125. I'm going to change it to 0.15. Apply. And then we're going to turn, what time we start? 52. So what that took like about 20 minutes to cut, a little bit over 20 minutes. All right, not bad. And then we're going to change the internal color or the fill color to black. Remove that outline, and now we have a double layer like that. Okay, I'm going to open up the rhinestone panel. Let's do another kind of scatter if we want. So I still have that second part selected. I'm going to select group that together because that's not grouped together, and we're going to adjust that spacing to let's do 0.75. Oh, that was too much. That didn't go to 0.75. 0.075. Girl, what were you doing? 0.075. So that just added a little more space there. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do another offset. And this is, and we can maybe make this a little bit larger. So let's do 0.225. Apply. And then we can kind of change this. Let's do 0.175 at that point. Let's see. And then, you keep doing it as you want, but the same thing would apply to text. If you had a script font, you want to make sure you weld that together, right? So that's what you would do. And then let's say we add another offset. Let's do let's 0.35, click apply. And then let's do 0.25. And then we just change that to black. All right. So, I mean, it's up to you what you like to do, but the text is basically the same as your, like how we did the shape is basically the same, pretty much identical. But just when you're doing like a script font, you want to make sure that you weld it together. Okay. You want to make sure that you weld it together. All right, let's see. All right, that's it, y'all. That's it for the text. And then the text, we would do the same thing. So now you just have that word high. Y'all see how easy that was? And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any major work to it, okay? And people like designs like this because everybody doesn't, they don't necessarily want to have to layer things together. And if you want to go ahead and add that fill in, you can. But you don't necessarily have to, okay? You don't necessarily have to. All right, any questions? Are we good? Let me know. Thank you, Miss Sonia. It took about 25 minutes to cut. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys back over. I don't know if y'all want to brush this in or no? Tell me what y'all want to do. If y'all want to brush it in, we can brush it in. If not, then we don't have to. If we brush it in, I'm going to have to add that one back, and I'm going to remove the silhouette screen. Let me just get out of here because that sound was driving me bonkers. All right, let me clean out. All right, let's see. All right, let me close out of here. Let me see if y'all want to brush it in. And then I'll grab the aquamarine. Awesome. Okay, yes. Awesome. No worries, Jennifer. Hey, Keisha. Thank you, guys. All right, so we're gonna get ready. Let me add us back over here, cause, girl, I was like, I woke up yesterday with a migraine. And I'm like, I cannot wake up with a migraine tomorrow. I do not want that. I was working with that migraine. That was a bit much. All right. All right. Enter in. All right, we're gonna move this out of the way. So we're done cutting. Mm-mm. It's this one. It's just something I don't know. It's that one. We're gonna make this bigger. I'm gonna move the machine out of the way. We're done with this, and we're gonna do a peel reels. Hopefully, it peeled right. All right, let me move this out of the way. Girl, where you gonna go? Let me move her. Come on, little Julie. Go back to your home, girl. Go back to your home. You look beautiful. All right. All right, so let's see how this came out, y'all. I'm pretty sure it came out pretty good. All right, so this is the first one. And I like to grab it at the corner and just, oh, looky. We have a few that didn't come off. Let's count 1, 2, 3. The rest of that side looks good. And then you have a few right here. Not too bad for that one. Oh, we have 3 right here. With this scatter, sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, we have 1 right here. Not bad. Oh, we got a few more, y'all. The scatter, it's hard to tell with the scatter. The scatter is very forgiving. All right, I think that's it. What color should I do the outline? So we're gonna do, what color did I say? We're gonna do aquamarine. And we just gotta see what other color we're gonna use for the outline. Okay, not bad. It didn't do bad. You'll see I got a few little spots. Let's go ahead. I can't believe I've never done a Pisces one like this. So I'm gonna put it in the what's that? Incredible things. But before we get off, I'll share it with y'all since we kind of made it together. And I'm just happy that you guys are here and grateful that you guys took out time of your day to spend some time with me. So I don't know if y'all know any Pisces, but I mean, you can find a Pisces and make a shirt for them. That's what that. All right. So we're all good now. We're all good. All right. So I'm just gonna move our block. I'll cut that off later. And I gotta be right back, guys. I gotta go get a cutting mat. Oh wait, I thought I brought one in here. I thought I did. Did I? Yep, I did. All right, so this is a cutting mat from the Dollar Tree. Not Dollar Tree, from Amazon. And then I'm just gonna put this right here. On the mat. I'm gonna flip it over and put the other one on the other side. All right. And we're gonna get ready to cut. We're gonna get ready to brush in the stones. What time is it? Oh, we're past our 90 minutes, y'all. But can y'all believe we designed a template with all my talking. Y'all know I be talking a lot. And we cut the template out and we're about to brush it. I think we did pretty good for timing. Let me grab the stones. So we're gonna use aquamarine as the fill. And y'all know I gotta pull out that icy crystal AB for that for the sparkle. For the scatter. I gotta pull out Icy Crystal. It's only right that I use Icy Crystal AB. Okay. All right. That's gonna go here. Let me grab my brush. Where's my brush, y'all? Can't find my other one. My purple one from Evie Bot. I'll use this one. Oh, do I have some transfer tape handy? I do. Whew, Lord. All right, y'all. Let's get to brushing. We're gonna make this quick. We gonna make this real quick. Let me put my watch on. I had to take my watch off, y'all, today. I had to wear my other watch. I don't know, I had to go to work. All right, so here we have aquamarine. This is chrome aquamarine. Yeah, it's so pretty. Aquamarine chrome. That's what it's called. And if you are interested in any of this bling, check out the baby's booty. You can find this on her site, thebabiesbooty.com. All right, so we're gonna brush this in. And of course, I'm gonna give this shirt away because I don't know too many Pisces. I don't know. All right. So I pour a lot of stones on the template because that's what helps to brush it in. But I want you guys to see, like, we're gonna fill this in, right? We're gonna do both parts, but you totally, you don't need both parts. Like the other symbols that I have in my Etsy shop, not my Etsy shop, on my website, I don't have the fill with those. It's just the stones. It's just the scatter layer. So you don't have to have, you know, the fill. I just showed you guys the fill, like this part, just because, what we were doing. But this is a very easy design to do. You can make money to do this. Like, even if you chose to work with some text and do something like this with text, you can do it. If that's something that you want to do, or if you're like, I don't really want to get into digital sales, but I want to make stuff for myself, or make custom designs for my customers or for me or whatever, then that's what you can do. But I feel like, why do I have, that looks like a silver crystal right there. All right. Now see my nice curved edges look so good. I had to get those done. I was not going to be able to sleep. Oh, I should do silver crystal metalite instead of icy crystal AB, but I didn't get enough to go over there and look through those stones. My stones are so unorganized. I don't know what I've been doing these last few times I've been blinging. All I do is go and put them, like, I just put them back on the shelf, throw them on there. No rhyme or reason. I used to have them separated, like all the shaped ice was together, all the metal lights together. I mean, like that now. Maybe one Sunday while we're on Patrice L, I'll do it. I'll organize it. All right. We're looking good, y'all. We're looking good. I don't know why this one's curved up though. Something like that. All right. We just have one more part to brush in, and we're going to press it. This is going to be super quick and easy. I don't know where my wax. Well, I do know where. It's not up here though. Generally, you want to use a wax pen. What I'm using to brush this in is an edge brush. You can get this from the Home Depot, Lowe's. Evie also has brushes on her site. And I'm just going to feel this just to make sure we're good. Oh, that looks so pretty. It looks so pretty, y'all. All right. Let me go ahead, bring this down. All right. All right. I'm gonna now transfer this over to the hot fix transfer tape, and then we're going to brush in the other side. Okay. All right. We're good with this one. I can't believe that I haven't really been using the chromes. They are so beautiful. The shirt that I have on, that's what it is. It's the chromes. I use fuchsia chrome, aquamarine chrome because it's so pretty, and icy crystal AB. All right, so we're gonna get the transfer tape, and this is what the transfer tape looks like. It's not your standard transfer tape that you use when you're cutting vinyl and you need to transfer the vinyl. It's a hot fix transfer tape. It can withstand the heat. It can withstand the heat. Alright, so I'm just gonna take this, put up like a little taco, and go down. You gotta do it very swiftly. You can't second guess yourself. Good night, Miss Sharon Davenport. Miss Sharon Davenport, I know you're gonna be in the comments tomorrow. She always goes back and watch. Her and Jesse, they gonna go back and watch and comment. A lot of y'all go back and watch. They gonna make sure they comment. Hey Sheila. Thank you, Nicole. All right. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel dropped some link. She dropped the link, I think, to Evie's site. All right, let's go ahead and this is how you lift them off with the transfer tape. It's sticky. And you kind of don't want to do it like how I did where mine is just too big. It's too large. It's larger than the template. Because that's where you kind of risk having some of those stones pop off. So you gotta kind of be a little bit careful when it's like that, but it's fine. You just gotta be careful. Like, it really isn't that difficult. I just made it a little difficult, but it's not that difficult. All right, we got our heat press on, so we're good to go. We have one more side to brush in, and that's it. And then y'all done with me. This has been a fun design night. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness, don't mess it up, girl. Let me just go ahead and put this down just like this. I'm not even about to try to do nothing extra. I was about to try to line it up right because I had it turned the wrong way. This transfer tape is feeling real sticky today. Real sticky. All right, let me put this over here. All right, let's flip this over. We're going to brush this side in. We're going to put this down. Tandy, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. All right, so now we're going to get ready to brush that. These are so pretty. They're so pretty. And these are your Icy Crystal AB rhinestones, and we're just going to brush this in. Now, wait, when y'all see me put this on, this is going to look perfect. Like, you're not even going to have to put in that fill with the aquamarine, but we're going to put it in. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm trying to go fast, like even just in dimps, because they go so fast. But yo, it's been kind of cold here, but it's been so like dreary, like super, like it's rainy and just not a fun wintry feel. But it's fine. At least it's cool because that sun hasn't been doing too much damage. See how messy that looks? That looks messy. Oh my god, did I freeze it? Look at that. Alright, let's brush, brush, brush. So now I'm just brushing all of those off. We're gonna put these up. Looks like we're pretty good. That was a very, very good brush. You just gotta remember, like when you're doing your designs, make sure you notate the size and all of that so that whenever you open up the design in any software, you just got to verify that that size is correct. That's how we're able to get a good brush like this, because those holes cut out at the exact size that we needed them to cut out at. All right. Uh-oh. I got one jump out of place, but it's fine. There's one more. See, we got a few over here. I just got to clear it up. But this is one of the easiest designs that you can do. It doesn't have to be with, the zodiac, but the zodiac is very popular. It doesn't have to be with the zodiac. It can be with whatever, you can create like a silhouette of something and just have it, outlined with a spatter. Or you can put the SVG on the inside, or like Jennifer suggested, you could do applique on the inside, right? You can do different things. All right. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. And guess who doesn't have any meetings in the morning? Me. I had I had to go. Y'all know where I have to go. I had to go there today, and then I had to go. I had two IEP meetings today. Both were pretty good. I thought they were very productive. Okay, we're good to go. Oh my goodness, this icy crystal AB is going to be on this shirt. We're gonna put it on a black shirt. We're gonna put it on a black shirt. I'm just putting all of these up because we can reuse them. Oh, a tropical storm. What? Mm-mm. Our hurricane season this year was pretty low key. Or last year was pretty low key. But our hurricane season is done. But you just never know. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to get another piece of transfer tape. And then I'm going to place it on the top. Hopefully I cut it big enough piece. I don't think I did, but we're going to see. Let me stand up. Let me stand up. Oh, where's fucked up? Not taken out, Bobby? Where, Bobby? Right here? It looks like that might be where you're talking about. Yep. Thank you, Bobby. Any place else? Right here. No, right there. There's two. Bobby girl, you got good eyes. You got good eyes, girl. You got good eyes. All right, are we good now? I think we're good. I think. Let me put, let me put this back. Uh-oh. I need to get 2 more. I'm just putting it with my hand because I don't see my wax pen. It's probably my drawer. Oh, I see. All right, we're going to fill those in, and then we're going to place the. I'm going to put this on an extra large shirt, so we'll probably give it away. Because I'm not a Pisces. There was another. I think I got them all. Oh no, they're really good. Yes. Yes. All right, let's see. I think no, Bobby. You know what, you girl over here. I missed a few more though. I missed a few more, Bobby. I'm pretty sure somebody was like, "You ain't get them all." But see, with this one, you can't really tell because of how that scatter is. But I missed this whole area, y'all. How? No, that's not it. I don't even know how I even missed all of that. Being fast and grown. Okay, let's see. Uh, I would pick the worst wax pen that I have. Okay. Now we're ready. I think we're ready. If we're not ready, it's okay. I think we're good to go. I think it was just that area I did really poorly. And that looks good. I can't wait for y'all to see it like without the fill. Like that is something that you can totally do without the like you don't need the fill. That's why I think I never like put the fill on there. I'm pretty sure I did not put this big enough. I could tell I didn't cut it big enough. Oh, good y'all. Nope. Let's see. I'm gonna act like I can't tell that I didn't cut it big enough. Patrice, why, girl, why? I need to get another little small piece of this. Let me get another one. Let me get a small piece because I didn't. My eyeballing ain't eyeballing right. My eyeballing is not eyeballing. Okay. Okay. Right, Kristen, right. I was good over there. Alright. Let's hope these lift up good. That's my hope. I was kind of close over here too, trying to fit it with. Alright, we're gonna lift this up now. That one that doesn't want to come up. Come on. Alright. Here we go. You ready to start? Alright, let me place this. I'm gonna just place this like this. I'm gonna move this over to the side. I know that I still have some exposed, but it's fine. We're gonna move this. I'm gonna head over to the machine. Let me so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, we still gonna make this a little bit bigger though. We're finally at the end, y'all. We're finally at the end. Let me grab. So I'm gonna put this on this Gildan shirt. It's a Gildan. It's an extra large Gildan. I'm gonna lint roll the shirt and then pre-press it. Okay, so that's what I'm doing over here. I'm lint rolling and then we're pre-pressing it. All right, let's give it a nice little pre-press. I gotta leave my phone over here all this time. That's so crazy. All right. It only needed to go for a few seconds, not long. So now we're ready to go, y'all. We're ready to go. All right, let's get ready and place our our scatter, outline slash scatter on top. Let me grab her. Come on, girl. All right, so we're just going to take this and I'm just going to place it just like this. Now, of course, you want to make sure like you're, a little down. I'm good right here. I like it just right there. That looks straight to me. It looks like we're in the center. Let's see. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to get ready to press this. I can't wait. I'm going to take the table off and let y'all see how this looks without the fill. Because we're going to do the fill, but I want y'all to see how it looks with and without it. All right, we're going to get ready. All right. And this is without the fill, y'all. This is without the fill. You don't have to have that fill. You don't. Okay, let me. Oh, that looks so pretty. I'm gonna make myself a little bit larger for now. Look at it without the fill. And this is an extra large shirt. So this would look good on a small shirt. Remember, it was like 10.6. For a small shirt, it's gonna be kind of big, a little bit, right? Kind of take up a little more space, but it's gonna look good. But look at this without the fill. Without the fill, it looks beautiful without the fill. And you'll see how that scatter kind of looks, and it goes in where it's like a more dense fill. Love it, love it, love it. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do the fill, but you don't have to have the fill. Thanks, y'all. I like it like this too. That's most of the designs like this, like the symbols that I did. They don't have a fill, but some people like it. You give options, and then you don't even have. If you don't want to do the scatter, you just want to have the symbol. You could do that also. And then if we put this like this, so this is just gonna fit right here on the inside. Let me just kind of scooch her on over and down. Okay, she looks good there. She looks good. That looks good. All right, so now we're gonna get ready to press. Oh, it looks pretty. It looks pretty. Now the regular just with the scatter, that was perfectly fine. But these are easy ways for you to design. And if you want to, venture into digital or making shirts where you're using, you can. And you're not spending a lot of time with this particular, you don't spend much time fixing, moving anything around, because it's just, it's just that shape. Or if you have like text that was easy to fill in. Now with the text, you're going to spend a little more time with like the text. Let me turn this off. You're going to spend a little more time with the text just because of how the text is shaped. But, oh, that looks good. That looks so good. All right, let me bring you guys back on the big screen. Hold on. Thanks, y'all. Thank you so much. Let me remove this out of the way. I'll make me bigger again. Because guess what? We're done. We went over by 34 minutes or 35 minutes so far, but it's fine because we did a complete, we literally did this from scratch. right? We did it from scratch. But look how that looks, y'all. That looks so pretty. Look at that aqua chrome, aquamarine chrome sparkling. Is it aqua chrome or aquamarine chrome? I think it's aqua chrome. Look how pretty that is. Now you could do it with the fill or without the fill. It's up to you. I like it without the fill better, but you give people options. And as y'all saw, creating that fill didn't take much time at all. Like with it in the linear fill and us just filling out that edge, like making the edge, form to that curve. Oh, am I missing another stone? Yep, missing one right there. But I'm not putting a stone there. And if y'all want me to do a giveaway, let me know. I'll give this away tonight. Do the scatter in aqua chrome. That would be pretty. And then you don't even do a fill, right, Eve? You just have the scatter in aqua chrome, right? Like that. Oh, thank you so much, Sandy. This is gorgeous. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you. All right, we're gonna give this away. It's an extra large. Send me an email with your address, your name and your address that you won, whatever you win. Let me pull up the StreamYard, and honey, it's almost time for me to get ready for bed. It's about that time. I gotta go to somebody's school tomorrow. Yep. I gotta go there, y'all. I gotta go there. Do I have Google Chrome? Okay, let me do StreamYard giveaway. Why is it not? Oh, don't tell. Is my keyboard dead? Let me see. Something is. Oh, do I have something on it? No. Oh yeah. Yo, I probably don't have my keyboard charged up. Let me see. StreamYard. What am I doing wrong? What, girl? What are you doing wrong? What in the world is going on? I can't. Maybe I'm just gonna give this away on Friday. I think that's what is gonna happen because my keyboard is not typing. I could have sworn I charged it up. It's not typing. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not working out today. We'll give it away probably on Friday. I don't know what else to do now. Let me see if I type in here. No. It's on. And I know you know that. Like, girl, did you? Who touched my keyboard to turn it off? It was not me. That is so strange. All right, giveaway tool. We're gonna get ready to, and you'll know what the word is gonna be. It's just gonna be Pisces. I mean, that'll be a lot easier for us. It'll just be Pisces. Let me do a capital P. I am somebody's teacher. Let me do the right thing. Start collecting. I'm gonna share the screen. It will remind me later. Let me share. And thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, y'all. Hopefully this was helpful. We have another design date next month. We may have one sooner than that, but I only promise one design night a month. Yes, Keisha. Yes. Remember, the shirt is an extra large. The colors on the stones are aqua chrome, aquamarine chrome, and icy crystal AB. I'll give you guys a few more minutes. And here's my email address. Just send me your name with your address. It's not gonna go out tomorrow. It's not gonna go out. Give me till the weekend. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of my friends. Just good luck, y'all. Oh, hold on. while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go put this. Let me open up my other screen. Where did I have this saved as? I'm gonna put it over here. And if you want the file, remember I said tonight that you would. I'll give away the file. So I could do it on this computer. So if you want it, download it tonight. Um, and save it. I will not send out any files to anybody if you did not get a chance to download it or if you forgot to save it. Hold on. Let me go to Google. Let me go to my thing. It's only going to be in there tonight, y'all, only because my Google Drive space is so packed. If you're catching the replay, it'll be in on my website if you want it. Mm-mm. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out why Google kicked me out. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Where are you? Give me a second. I'm putting in the Google Drive, and then we're gonna do the giveaway, and then we're gonna be done. Sorry that you're waiting so long. I'll upload documents. Pisces. Historically, no, that's not it. It's in downloads. Pisces symbol. Okay, there we go. Okay. Upload. It's uploading. Give me a second, guys. It's uploaded, but it didn't come right up for me. Where are you? So I'm gonna put it in the chat. Just tell me if you were able to share. If you're able to open it. And only one person. If you're able to open it and save it, just let me know. Copy link. Done. YouTube. Because that way, if one person is able to open it, everybody else should be able to open it too. Okay. I'm coming, y'all. It's multiple steps that I gotta take. I'm sorry. Okay. I know I'm taking forever for this. Okay, here's the file. And then I'll put it up after everybody stops too. I just put it in. All right, so let's get ready to see who won. Let's go. All right. And they send me an email to Patrice. Danny, congratulations, Danny. I know you know my email. Send me an email with your name. Well, I don't know your name, but just send me an email with your address and I will send it to you. Just send me to say, what is the Pisces bling shirt? That's it. Congratulations to Danny. All right, I'm going to put this in again. So go ahead and download the file and save it. It's just the Pisces file that we did tonight. Okay, go ahead, download it and save it. If you want to make your own because now you know how to do it. Now you know how to do it and keep practicing. Awesome, Danny. That's awesome. Okay, good. Faith was able to get it. Okay, Kristen, thank you. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for checking and letting me know. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I'm going to stop sharing. The girl's getting ready to go get ready for bed. So I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. What in I need some more chapstick. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been fun. No worries, Pamela. No worries. I'm going to drop the link. Hey, some papa. Thank you, Jesse. I dropped the link again to the Google Drive. Make sure you get it. Please remember to be kind to each other and most definitely be kind to yourself. When you're kind to yourself, you like that's just inside of you and you just have no other choice but to be kind to others. So please be kind to others. Please remember to be patient. Don't forget, a high goes a long way for some people. Some people, they don't have a lot of friends. They may not socialize a lot. Remember, I always tell you guys that sometimes our chat is the only time that some of us socialize, right? Some days for me, the chat is where I socialize the most. Okay. You just don't know the impact that you may be having on somebody's life. So always make sure that that impact is positive, it's meaningful, and it's helpful, and it doesn't hurt, right? I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Friday. Tomorrow night, Delonda, I don't know if Delonda's doing a video or if she's going to be on. I don't know. But check out. Make sure you have your notifications on for her. On Thursday, Making with Marilyn will be on Thursday night. Friday, I'll be back on Friday. But I think Dims might be on early morning on Friday for a little bit of crochet. And Kristen, let me just tell you, girl, that's totally like a Leo thing coming up with something like that. Crochet. Girl, that was good. That was so good. So check Dims out on Fridays in the morning. I think she's like 10 or 10:30 on Dims Designs, and she's gonna be doing a little bit of a bit more crocheting in a car, which is cool. I'll be on Friday night, I believe so. I believe I'll be on Friday night. I don't think that I'm gonna cancel anything. And then if you don't know, this weekend I'm having a beginner silhouette class. Nothing to do with them, nothing to do with bling, just silhouette, a deep dive into silhouette. And then this week we have So Good. I'm not sure if it's Saturday or Sunday. I gotta check with Delonda to see if it's gonna be Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure. And then y'all on Sunday, I don't know about y'all, but the crew on Sunday, they have me like sneaking. I'm supposed to be looking at church. You got Shay Shay, you got Jess and Stacy. Like they just have me like, but I love y'all. And I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me. All right. Oh, she's coming on at 9. Dips is coming on. Rachel and Dips is coming on at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rachel, you gonna be up at 8 o'clock in the morning? Girl, that's early. Hey, Michelle versus Kel. Lil Yuffie's doing good. I had some things to make, so I was trying to do a video, and I ended up not even doing a video. I'll try to do an update video, but you guys will know, because that's Kristen. That's early, girl. Y'all be having people sneaking. Y'all be having people sneaking. That's not good. I'm gonna stop taking my phone with me. That's not good. I'm just gonna leave the phone. Y'all know I like to still do virtual church, so I'm gonna have to put the phone someplace else. Thanks, Sheila. Wow. Oh, hold on. Let me post the Pisces design. Let me put it right here. I'm gonna put it again, Miss Sharon Davenport. Miss Sharon Davenport, it's anything for you, girl. I'm already past time. You ain't fussed me out yet, so we're doing good. I'm about to get off right now though, but I'll put the link to the file in the chat. Again, hey crafty girl. Oh, that's awesome. Yay. All right, y'all. I love you guys so much. And until next time, y'all, later.